Okay, I'm here with SheSez, who's a good friend of mine, but also an amazing chef. One of the things I love about Jeffrey's cooking is the fact that he uses seasonal fruits and vegetables, and he's creative, which brings us to today's dish.
So what we're doing today is a risotto, which I always love, but now I want to make it a fall risotto, kind of like a bite of Thanksgiving dinner risotto. So it's butternut squash, and of course the obvious, right? Brussels sprouts.
Which is really an interesting twist, and I have to say I was a little bit like, whoa, Brussels sprouts, yummy.
Yeah, geez, Jeff. Well, you know, the idea is when I grew up, unfortunately for all the good things my mom did, one of the things she didn't do well was cook Brussels sprouts because they were like little balls of mushy, acrid nastiness. And I was like, you know, it looks like a cabbage and it tastes even worse. But now I realized that if you actually peel these little leaves off, which maybe you don't have the patience for, and saute these, roast these, they become sweet and they just wilt just a touch, and they have a pleasant bitterness that offsets the sweetness of the butternut squash. I'm going to slice it about that thick so I end up with like half-inch cubes. Then, and it doesn't matter, you know, the thing I love about cooking is it's all about how it tastes. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know, even cubes. Any kind of rustic cube like this is great.
But again, you're going smaller because it takes less time to cook.
Exactly. So what's going to happen is, the magic is, by the time this beauty becomes nice and golden, the inside is tender and sweet, but it still holds its texture. And then the Brussels sprout, the key is, I cut off the little end piece and then I cut it in half. Okay?
Okay, so this part gets discarded.
Yeah, that end piece is gone. Now these, you just cut it like that.
Tell me how you did this, since we're going to jump start it here and you're kind of seeing the finished product.
Just a touch of olive oil, and then I put in the butternut squash and the Brussels sprouts at the same time.
2-3 minutes max?
About 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes, okay.
Yeah, and then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to finish it off with some butter and sage and a little allspice, and that's what's going to take it to Thanksgiving.
How long has this risotto cooked for?
It takes about 20 minutes of constant stirring.
You've got an all-clad metal pot, and that's not the same as a Teflon.
You know, the good pans are worth it, because when you have a thick bottom pan, you get even heat transfer, and when you have that even heat transfer, everything sears better, cooks nicer. The right tools does make a difference.
Yeah, completely.
You want to throw a little allspice in there?
Okay, so this is allspice.
Allspice.
Now I want to talk about allspice for a minute.
Yeah.
Because allspice, when I saw that on the recipe, because you sent it to me in advance,
you were like, okay.
I thought that was a baking spice, right? That's what you put into muffins and cakes.
Traditionally.
Okay.
In Eastern Europe, it'll be in breads. But what I like about it is the baking spices, exactly as you said, is what adds that kind of holiday flavor. It's the, you know, it's like spices are like memories. You know, it's like I taste nutmeg and cinnamon, I think of the holidays.
It smells like Christmas.
Exactly. The goal here is we don't want it to be like in your face allspice.
It's just a titch.
But we want to go, when we're eating it, like, what is that flavor? I love it. What is that?
It smells fantastic. Okay, so what kind of cheese is this?
This is Reggiano Parmesan.
That is really good.
There it is, a little Thanksgiving risotto.
Lots of flavors in there.
Yeah. And see, the allspice is just kind of a backdrop, right? It's not like boom in your face, but it's kind of like, what's in there?
So if I make this at Thanksgiving, can I tell everybody it was my recipe?
Absolutely. And when I make it, I'll let them know I borrowed it from you.
There you go, perfect. Thank you.
You bet. Happy holidays.